G'day guys. You know what that is, don't you? That's a coil off a SDC2300. It's quite interesting that we can change the coils on the SD2300. I know some other crowds out there have done it lately. I did this about the same month the SDC2300 came out. I put a 12-inch Advantage nugget finder coil on an SDC2300, and the thing was that you could do it a particular way, and what we've done now is that, well, David's done this actually. I just helped him a little bit, but it's a customer's 2300. Hasn't got the cover on here, but basically we're making this, David calls it a dongle. It's not really a dongle because it's got nothing. We'll call it a gender changer or whatever you want to call it. So what it does is that you can put any coil you want on the 2300, and you can, that's I don't even know what it is. Some nugget finder. It's had the numbers and that ID rubbed off, but it's an elliptical nugget finder. Nothing fantastic, standard coil. But the thing is, when people were making the interfaces up for using different coils on these, people may have noticed there was an extra blue wire in the original coil that came down. And what would actually happen if you put a different coil on the detector, you could get some sounding off by just touching the coil like so, or even anything down here touching the carbon fiber shaft. Anything touching, or even your fingers touching anywhere around here, it would make the detector go a bit crazy anyway. David's built this up and I helped him fix it up, so you can put any coil on this and it will behave beautifully. Tomorrow we're going out. I'm going to put a 20-inch or 25-inch mono on this, just to prove that it will work with a 25-inch mono. And I think I can actually, I'll just turn it on. It's going to be noisy as bloody hell in here with a mono on it. But yeah, I haven't used one of these for a long time. But let's have a look. I can't remember how to turn the thing on. Dear me, there we go. It's on the side. No, I haven't. God, that's tight. Hang on a second. You got to have gorilla fingers to do this. Oh, you pick it up, don't you? Do you? I forgot you pull it up. Oh, it's going to make this horrible bloody dog whistle noise. Here we go. There it goes. Oh, dear me. I'm putting in the salt mode, see if it shuts up. Ugh, no. Okay. I'm going to try and shut it up. Oh, dear me. I don't use this type of detector. I don't have much interest in it, but mainly when it came out, it had such a small coil, and it took a while for some other companies to start making coils. But the first 12-inch round nugget finder I put on one of these, it did work quite well. A fellow up in Queensland told me that it worked quite well. That's a bit slow, isn't it? Anyway. I take it it's actually doing something. Oh, there we go. It's probably just as noisy. Yeah, it's just as noisy. But, oh God. Go up there somewhere. That's horrible, isn't it? But to give you an idea, normally if you touch this, right near the lights, damn, you touch that on the carbon shaft, if you did it, you know, with your own type of adapter and things, it would sound off. This doesn't. There's no sound off whatsoever. It's just interference. You know, touch anything, doesn't sound off. You know, touch the coil, doesn't sound off. But it works really. It would work really well out in the field. But hang on, let me kill this. God, that's obnoxious. Please, next time you make one of these, put cancel mode on it. Oh dear me. So that's that. That's this gadget. But yeah, I was just saying that I've seen some of the stuff kicking around for the SDC2300, the aftermarket stuff, and I can't work out why it's so expensive. Some of it anyway, especially the coil mount. You can make that on your own plastic extruder, not extruder, but you know, one of those things. Yeah. But I remember when I did that 12-inch nugget finder round advantage coil on one of these detectors. I remember I just got some square plastic. I'm trying to remember where I got it from. I got it from Alcan. I remember this. I got it from Alcan. It was on Dandenong Road, somewhere down Huntingdale. And they had these pieces of plastic which went in alloy square tubing. And I got some of those and I chopped the sides off, and there was an extended piece. And I just used that. It went on there, here, and went in the side. So it's a cheap way of doing it. You don't need to go and buy an expensive type mount. It's, you know, you could even get a standard, you know, old SD, GP, GPX type coil, you know, pole, and slide it up into that square assembly, and all you need to do is glue some outriggers to it so it stayed square. You know, just a piece of, you could just do it on round tube. It's not that difficult to do. You know, this is all fancy stuff, and it just bumps the price up. You could just, you know, get one of these on the round pole, on an old shaft, stick it in here, chop it off there, just put some outriggers, or if you really want to get real technical, you could probably mold something onto the shaft. Yeah, there's many ways of doing it. You can just do it yourself. It's not that hard. But yeah, the big thing is making these adapters up that totally do not sound off. So it's a trouble with a lot of adapters. They touch, or you touch, or touches the bush, and it sounds off, and it's really horrible. This doesn't. That's inert. So tomorrow we're going to take this out. I'm going to put a 20-inch mono on it, a 25-inch mono. Don't know. That'll look rather funny with a 25 mono on it, but we'll do it. We'll give it a go and just see how it performs. It's not made for, you know, big deep gold, but I've never tried it like that, so we'll see. We'll just put it on some test targets and see if it works, or it all goes pear-shaped. There's other developments happening. I am not at liberty to say. I know you'll hate that when I say that, but believe me, it's coming. Okay, I'm just giving you a heads up that it's going to jump out at you like that. It will happen. So I can't go into details on a lot of stuff. I really can't. It was bad. It was bad enough with the other thing. So that's why at one point I took the video down, and yeah, it just caused a big kerfuffle in the industry. So that's the feedback anyway. It caused a kerfuffle, is the word I'll use. All right, it might have caused a couple of board meetings too, as far as I know. But anyway, that's that. There was something else. What was it? There's some stuff I can talk about and some stuff I can't. I'm doing. It's behind the camera. I don't really want to turn it around. But there's something coming out real soon. It's nothing to, well, how do I say this? It's nothing to do with, well, it is, but it's not. It's nothing to do with doing anything to detectors like modifications or anything like that. It's an accessory to, God, they're killing each other or laughing or something. Yeah, it's something to do with detecting, but it's nothing to do with modification to a detector. And this should be a really good addition. It will work with any VLF, any PI. It'll even work with funny detectors that you need funny adapters for, that you can't put in the audio connection because you haven't got that strange connector, which you have to go and pay an arm and a leg for to get. But anyway, you probably all know what I'm talking about. This stuff, just keep it simple, please. I started thinking about, people with their, 7000s and putting on these X coils. And of course, the X coils, they don't have the little handshake chip, and you got to go and make dongles up and all this. I got told that people are charging $350 to make a dongle adapter. Is that true? Yeah, wow. That's very interesting, because I always thought the best thing to do for one of these detectors is on the coil cable, just chop the bloody dongle off, get rid of it, and put it inside the detector so it lives there forever. You turn the detector on, and it says, "Oh yes, there's a coil connected." The only trouble is, if it is a problem, no, it'll work on a 7000. You can't do that on a 6. You can't take it out of the coil because there's different types of coils, double Ds and monos. But you can, because the way the 7 works, you can do it on the 7. It's the same functionality of every coil, just different sizes. And rather than have it on a coil, just you could use overseas coils. I don't know if they work very well. There's a lot of hoo-ha about coils all over the internet. People say, "Oh, the X coils work better." Do they? I don't know. Don't ask me. I've never tried one. I got no idea. There's a lot of stuff that's out there. I just wouldn't. I just not interested. I stick to basics and fundamentals. And I don't know. I just look at it like you'll have some people in an overseas jurisdiction making things for Australian conditions and Australian ground. And where is the testing on that? I don't know if it does exist or it doesn't or whatever. I don't know. If they come over here and tried it, have they got everything correct for our highly mineralized ground? That I don't know. So yeah, you people can tell me. I don't know. Has anyone from Russia ever come over here with these X coils and tested them in Victoria and Queensland and WA in various ground? I don't know. But yeah, it is. It's saying that just brings me back memories of the Garrett. I think it was the A2B, or it might have been the earlier one, that they sent their detectors over from the US and they didn't work on the Australian goldfields. And at the time, Garrett said, no, that's rubbish, you know, and all the rest of it. And people say, no, it's true, it won't work. So I think Charles Garrett came over here in the it would have been probably 1970s, late 1970s, and the words to effect of, oh, sugar, it doesn't work. So they got reworked and they came back over. Maybe that was the A2B that came back over, and the one before it was the one that wouldn't ground balance. But yeah, they fixed the problem. He probably took a big suitcase full of Western Australian dirt back with him or something. I don't know. But yeah, Australian ground is pretty ballistic. And that is another reason why some of the detectors we've been upgrading over the years, we can increase the gain quite substantially for detectors that are being specifically used in certain parts of the US because the ground is much more benign, and especially for the guys who use massive big coils looking for big silver nuggets. And, you know, I'm saying silver nuggets. Some of the nuggets they find are the size of garbage bins. I mean, that's ridiculous. And they're quite deep, but they go off like a bomb, you know. It really makes a big noise on your detector when you go over one. So that's what I've been getting the feedback on. Apart from that, there will be more good videos, not this sort of business, you know, waffly old video I'm doing now. But tomorrow there should be some good videos go up. There'll be field tests. We will be doing the 7000 modified against the 7000 standard, and we will be doing the SDC2300 with a variety of coils, and we'll just see how it goes on really small. Well, it's got a really small coil. I have got a smaller one I can put on, but I think it's pretty pointless. But how about we just go bigger? We'll just go ridiculous size coils. We'll try everything in between, just see how it goes. See how responsive that detector is to different sizes of gold at different depths. So we're going to do some little drill holes and into some relatively warm ground. And I think what we'll just do is do targets and drop them down the drill holes on the end of fishing lines. Probably the best way of doing it, because you know, a little tiny tube of air going through massive amount of dirt, it doesn't have any effect on any way the detector operates. If the dirt was in the hole or the dirt wasn't, it makes no damn difference. It's exactly the same. You know, if you want to look at it at volume of dirt to volume of air at detection depth, it's probably 0.00001%. It's nothing. It's someone kicked a rock on the surface. That's how much difference it would make. It wouldn't make any difference. So, you know, you hear people saying, oh, no, it's got to be in dirt. It's got to be, nah. Doesn't work that way. VLFs, you know, TRs, phase change detectors like that, yeah, it makes a difference. Not PI. PI is like using a bar magnet on a piece of steel. You put anything you want in the middle and it's going to have the same pull. It's basically very much the same effect. You know, you want to go bang, bang, bang. It's sort of the same thing. So you can with extremely layered types of ground with a lot of you know, like nickel materials in it, you know, copper oxides and things like that. If things are layered a particular way with some exotics, maybe you can get field distortion that can affect your depth, but air does not. You know, it's ground is ground to a PI, except if it's very exotic layered ground, if it's all homogeneous, mixed up, and it's all just little particles all, you know, sitting next to each other, and that doesn't make any damn difference. You can, you know, you can get a whole bunch of denoli dirt, mix it up, throw it in a tub, get a whole heap of dry beach sand, mix it up, put in a tub, and the detection depth is probably within about 0.01%. It's no difference. So that's something to take into account. I've done all this stuff in the past. I have tubs of dirt and sand and whatever. It makes no difference. You know, if it does, sometimes if it has salt in it and it's been wet and it's dried out and it stays, well, like conductive salt layers, yeah, possibly, but maybe it make more of a noise than actually affect the depth, and then you probably could get a depth problem a little bit, by losing your lower noise floor, that noise would possibly come up a little bit at extreme depth, or trying to get very, very tiny gold with, an iffy signal. Maybe it could knock it out. But, I'm just talking generalities about this stuff, and does it make a difference? In most cases, it doesn't. It would have to be some very exotic, special place with, targets that are well down, and using too small a coil on a concentrated conductive layer or something, or whatever. But most cases, doesn't make any difference. I've never found it to make any difference. You hear stuff about halos and this and that, and I just go, yeah, right. Yeah, dig it out, put it back. I've already said stuff about this before, about, oh, it's very, very deep and the nugget falls out the side of the hole in the next swing of the pick. And yeah, that's in the bottom of the hole, isn't it now? So, oh, that was deep. No, it wasn't. There's a lot of stuff like that. You hear people say, oh, I found, a 1 gram and it was down at 1.5 feet down or something. And you go, yeah, okay, really great. Yeah, stuff like that. To actually get something that's very, very borderline, you'd have to have magic ears and a magic detector and everything going perfectly well for you. But yeah, anyway, what I'm just saying is tomorrow, probably around about this time, I will be putting up a video from our day's experiments with these other detectors and devices and so forth. And that will be more interesting to everybody than my long-winded waffle on various subjects. All I want to do is mention those tests with the big coils on that SDC, but it's turned into a tangent here and a tangent there and a bit of a waffle. But anyway, that's probably enough. I don't want to bore you to tears. Yeah, tune in tomorrow and see how we go with all our experiments. Catch us.